Hello guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Faith. So in the mood of independence, I decided to make this simple color block gown. If this looks like something you're interested in, then let's go straight into the tutorial. Okay, so I already have my pattern drafted out. This is a basic gown. This was drafted using the subtraction method. It's just a little bit below the knee. The full length, the length I have here is 44 inches. Okay, that is with 2 inches extra for hemming allowance. Okay, now this pattern is a full block. It's not on fold. It's on. I already drafted it out on fold and I traced to the other side, so you can see that it's a full block, not half scale. It's already in full. Now the first thing I want to do is to determine the midpoint on my shoulder for the boots. This is because I want to create a shoulder dart that I'm going to be connecting to the nipple point like so. Okay, can you see that? Now that I have done that, I'm going to be opening up the bust dart. Okay, and then I'll go ahead and open up the shoulder dart also. Okay, now I'll go ahead and close up the bust dart like this. With my masking tape, I'm going to be taping it down to keep it in place. Okay, I'm going to be repeating this same step for the other bust dart. So I'll go ahead, open up the shoulder dart. This works with the principle that before you can close one dart, you have to open up another dart. Okay. Okay, now I'll go ahead and close the bust dart. And just like I did for the other one, I'm going to be using my masking tape to close it up. Alright, now to create my shoulder dart, I'm going to be measuring the distance I have between that space. That is since I've opened up the shoulder dart, the space I have there between the paper, I'm going to be measuring it, and I have that to be 3.25. Now 3.25, I'm going to be dividing it by 4 because your shoulder dart is most times 25%. So after dividing it, I got 0.8. Okay, so that's what I'll be using. Now I'll come out on the shoulder slope there. Now my shoulder slope was 1.5 for the front, so I'll mark out that 1.5 and roll a line there. This is just to get a straight line because I need to return the 0.8 I used to create my shoulder dart there. Okay, we're going to be cutting that out, so I need to return it, and you can see I've done that. Now you're just going to be returning it to the midpoint on the armhole line there, and you can see the way I returned it. Okay, so that is it. I'm going to be repeating this same step for the other shoulder. Okay. Alright, so now we're done with the shoulder dart, shoulder tightening and the waist. Okay, now because of the style we want to create, I'm going to be closing up that shoulder dart too, while my bust dart is still closed. Can you see what I'm trying to do? Okay, now I don't want to have all these dart lines. The only place I want to move my dart to is going to be the cutout for the front. So that is why I want to close up all these balls. That I want it to look seamless and just have that that color block effect there. Is that other olive green that we're going to be putting in the middle there, that is going to have all that transfers. Okay, alright, so I've successfully closed this one. Don't forget to blend your shoulder back, it's very necessary. Now I'm going to be repeating the same process for the second shoulder. It's looking a little tough, but it's doable. Okay, you just have to try. Eventually you'll get it. Okay, so now we're done. The same way I'm going to be blending up the shoulder. Okay, now I'm going to be pushing this out. Can you see that my bust is already popping up, even though this is paper? Now the next thing is that I want to close this waist dart also. So I'm going to be cutting out on the half length line, which is the waistline. I'm going to be separating the pattern on the waistline, and then just like it is like this, I'm going to close up my waist dart. Okay. Alright. Now that we have all our dots closed, can you see what we have? And can you see how it looks? Now the next thing will be for me to draw out my style line. Okay. My points, my lines are going to be passing on top of that bust apex. Okay. Now if your line doesn't pass there, the implication of your line not passing through there is that when you sew it back together, that place is going to gape, and you don't want that to happen, right? Okay, so you want to make sure that your style lines passes through that bust apex, both of them actually. So now you can see that the first line has passed through the first bust there. Now on the shoulder, I want a space of 1.5 there. So that's why I marked out that 1.5 there. Since I'm okay with the first, I will go to the second. I want it to be 3 inches wide. Okay, so I've marked out the tip of the shoulder there. And I decided to continue with the 3 inches. But coming towards the midpoint and the bust point there, I had to increase it to like 4, so that my line can pass through that bust apex. Okay, so now that I have that, I'll take it down. I just decided to reshapen the first line. At the other end there, I made sure I had 3 inches also. At this point, I decided to put some balance mark on it at some strategic places. This balance mark is to help me know where to put notches, so that when I want to join, I'll know where to join to each other. Now can you see our line, our style line rather? This is what we have. Now I'll go ahead and separate them and cut out. I decided to label at this point. Okay, the mid one is olive green, then both other side are dark green. Okay, now at that point I decided to write RSU. RSU means right side up, and this means that your fabric is going to be placed on the right side. Okay, that means you're going to be placing your pattern on the right side of your fabric if you want your outfit to come out exactly the way you have traced out on your pattern now. Okay, all right, so can you see? Now you can see that because we cut directly through the bust point, you can see that our patterns are relaxed and they flatten back. Okay, that's one trick that you should know. Once you didn't cut through the bust apex, your pattern will not be able to relax like this, and you're going to be having issues with it. Okay, so make sure yours relax like this. Okay, now moving to the skirt, the first thing we're going to do is to close the waist dart. Alright, we repeat the same step for the other dart. Alright, I'll go ahead now and blend up that line so that it's straightened back. Okay, now I can cut out. Alright, so because I want the pattern, the cutout now, which is the olive green, to go in the same direction as for the bodice, so I'm going to start my tracing from the other side. Alright, okay, now I'll come down by 3 inches and then I'll mark another 3 inches. Please note that you can create your different style variation with this method. This is just me showing you a simple way of doing it. If you're able to close your patterns like this, you can create different designs of your choice. This is what most times we call dart manipulation. Okay, most times people call this dart manipulation, but I choose to call it color blocking. So you can create different style lines on this pattern as it is now once it's closed like this. Okay, so don't be limited by what I do. Also remember that if you don't want to have a waist joining, just like I have now, once you have done all this alteration, you can choose to join your waistline back to the bodice. Okay, you can decide to add them together and just sellotape it together, and then you're going to have a seamless waistline without any joining there. It works. You can give it a try and see. Okay, right now I'm cutting out. Now I'll go ahead and separate my pattern. At this point, I remembered that I haven't put some balance mark, so I decided to do that. Okay. Now this is our front skirt, and just like I said, you can close up the waist that if that is what you want. Okay, but I won't be doing that. So these are my pattern pieces. I'll keep them aside and then we'll work on the back now. Okay, so this is the back. Can you see? Now the back is not on fold because it's going to be one color, and I'm not going to be doing anything color blocking on the back, so I don't need it to be in full. Now I've separated the waistline. This is because I wanted to have waist joining just like I did for the front. So go ahead now, close up the waist dart. I'll repeat this same step I did for the front. I'm going to be blending my waist tightening there, and then I'll cut out, and that will be all for the back bodice. We'll move on to the skirt, and we're going to be basically repeating the same steps. You close your waist dart, please note that if you want any kind of design on the back, okay, you want to create some color blocking on the back, you can also do that after you've closed all these dark lines. Okay, I just want my back to be plain, that's all. Alright, okay, now I'll cut out the back skirt block. At this point, I decided to label CB and SB because once you cut out this pattern, both sides will be looking similar. Okay, so you don't want to create that confusion for yourself. Alright, so our back block is ready. Alright, everything for this back is going to be dark green. I said that earlier. Now we'll move on to transfer to fabric and sewing. Alright, so this is the fabric I'll be working with. It's two different shades of green, and this is our pattern pieces. Alright, our next step will be transferring to fabric. Okay, now this is my patterns on fabric. I decided to cut the patterns with the dark green first, the one I'm supposed to cut on the dark green first. Now this fabric is placed on the right side, which means it's the right side that is facing up now, and these patterns were placed on the right side of the fabric. So all these markings you are seeing was done on the right side of the fabric. Okay, so I added half an inch all round except for the side seam where I have 1.5 inches seam allowance there. Okay, so this is the back also, and the back is on fold. Actually, I didn't do what I did for the front for the back. This is because we're cutting to 2 pieces each, so there's no need for that. And on the skirt there, you can see I came out by extra 2 inches there. This was to have a slit at the back, and I want the slit closed, neatly closed, so that's why I have that there. Okay, and every other necessary seam allowance have been added. Okay, so now this is for our style line in front. Okay, this is what we have. I added the same allowance as I did to the other ones. Okay, now I have them all cut out here. Can you see? And if you look closely, you can see I have all my notches in place. I also went ahead to cut facing both for the front block and the back neckline, so you want to do that. Alright, I also cut a basic sleeve, a short sleeve, which will be joining to the armhole. Now we'll go ahead and start sewing. Now can you see we're going to be starting with the front block. I'm going to be keeping my facing for the neckline aside. Remember that this pattern was cut on the right side. This was cut on the right side. You want to take note of that if this is what you're going to be doing. Okay. Alright, now that I have my pattern paper out, I'm going to be fixing this to each other, and you can see that I'm trying to match up my notches there. Now I'm going to be sewing this on half an inch, and when I'm done sewing that, I'm now going to be fixing this other one to the other part. Okay, so I'll just do this now and come and show you. Alright, okay guys, can you see? This is what we have. Can you see how it looks? Alright, now we're going to be repeating the same process for the skirt. Okay, the sewing is very easy and fast. The only time you're going to be wasting time is the drafting and the alteration and all that, but the sewing is very easy and fast. Okay, so just like we did for the bodice, we're repeating the same thing for the skirt. And can you see how it looks? Next will be to join the waistline. Okay, 1/2 inch. So I'll do that now and come show you what I have. Alright guys, can you see our dress is coming out? I'll go ahead now and knitting the neckline with my facing. Okay, our neckline is ready. So I'll set the front aside and then come to the back. Now I'm going to be joining the back on the waistline, 1/2 inch for both. Okay, I'm going to be joining the skirt and the bodice together. Okay, so this is it. This is what we have. I also went ahead to knitting the neckline with the facing. Alright, now the next thing will be for us to close up the center back. Okay, so I'm going to be placing right side on each other. The next thing will be for me to measure out my zipper, how long I want out my zipper to be. Okay, now from there I'm going to be determining my sewing allowance, which is 1 inch. So I'll mark that out to where I want my slit to be. Now I'm going to be coming down by 1/2 inch. Okay, this is for the slit closing. Okay, now I'll just sew straight, and when I get to the end of that 1/2 inch, I'm going to be stopping. Okay, when I get to that, it's a straight stitch actually. Can you see? After sewing, I went ahead and I folded that place. I just used my iron to fold the excess allowance I have there so that that place will be neat. And now that I've done that, remember we sewed down by 1/2 inch. I'm going to be picking those two allowances that are folded in, that I've knitting there, and then I'm just going to stitch them together like so, the way I showed you with my finger now. And then I'll go ahead and fix my zipper. Alright, can you see? I decided to use olive green zipper just to give it some color at the back there. Yeah, now that I'm done, the next thing will be to sew the shoulder. Okay, I'm going to be joining the shoulders to each other now, and then I'll also go ahead and sew the side seams. Alright, because this is basically what is left. I will join the shoulder, sew the side seam. Okay, and then I'll fix my sleeve and then hem and come show you what I have. Can you see? I'll join the side now. I decided to come back and show you. This is my basic sleeve. Okay, so I'll just fold it and hem and then fix to the dress. Okay, don't forget to hem. Alright, we added 2 inches for hemming, which we're going to be doing. Okay, alright guys, so this is the finished look of the outfit. Alright, so my independence dress is ready.